Have you felt the energy shifting lately? Almost as if life is quietly asking you to pause, let go, and choose a different direction. Perhaps what used to work no longer fits, and pushing forwards feels harder than it should. Well, today's conversation is an invitation to explore what it really means to adapt, reinvent, and consciously change course, not from fear, but from awareness and trust. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Angels and Destiny Show, where we explore spiritual wisdom, healing, and transformation to help you take charge of your destiny. I'm Ray Cownan, the founder of Radiant Angel Energy, and a spiritual guide and healer helping you reconnect with your divine presence and create a life of purpose and fulfillment through angelic Reiki, guided meditations, and intuitive journeys across past, present, and future lives. Now, the meaning of angel is messenger, and destiny means to make firm establish. So each week, my guests and I bring you messages to help ground divine wisdom into your everyday life. Now, my guest today is Anne Jirsch, who is a London-born professional trainer and public speaker with a large worldwide following. Her client base includes heads of industry, politicians, and celebrities, many of whom call her their secret weapon. Now, with a career spanning over 4 decades, Anne has guided individuals and organisations to create a better future. She is the best-selling author of 5 books in 14 languages, and her Future Vision training has been taught in over 20 countries. Anne has appeared on numerous radio and TV shows, including regular slots on BBC Radio, BBC Morning News, and This Morning. Dubbed the Queen of Future Vision, she travels extensively with her sellout workshop seminars and speaking engagements. And I've had the privilege of training with Anne, and she is amazing. And you'll find everyone who's trained under her will say exactly the same. Just look back at any of my previous shows where I've had guests who have trained under Anne. We always speak about her. So without further delay, hello, Anne, and a warm welcome back to the Angels and Destiny Show. How are you today?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm really good. And thank you for that because, I adore my practitioners, people that are trained with me. I'm honoured because, it's a bit like when you get on an airplane, they go, there's plenty of airlines, but you've chose us. And do you know what I mean? There's a lot of trainings out there these days. So I am grateful. But one of the things is it's attracted people that get that we need to focus on the future. So when I started teaching this, my tribe showed up, and you get that because you're very connected to the people. I mean, they really follow you. I mean, as you train people in this, and they really get you. So we're all kind of got that similar mindset. Going, no, we're focusing that way. We're not worried about all that. We're going that way. So it kind of brought a tribe together. And what's brilliant for me is I regularly get, them two have gone out for lunch, or them two are collaborating, or say, that connection, it goes way beyond the trainings. It's been amazing. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been, that's the beauty. It's more than me. Although I started it, it's beautiful that it's way more than me. That people have a lot of practitioners that got their own shows like you, or they've written books. So that's the beauty of it. So that's really heartwarming for me to hear.
Oh, you are welcome. And to everyone watching, whether you're joining us live or catching the replay, we'd love you to be part of this conversation. So let us know what resonates, ask questions, or share your own experience in the comments. Please don't be shy. And I do believe we have Catty here. Lovely to see you both. And Catty, as you know, trained with Anne, and she was the guest on my show last week. So do check out our show. So, Anne, why don't you remind us a little bit about your journey and share why adaptability and vision are so important when old structures fall away, and how learning to change course rather than keep pushing can open doors to clarity, alignment, and new possibilities, as I think we all need that now.
Yeah, we're definitely in a different time now, but I'll give you a quick potted history. So my grandmother was a fortune teller, and I'd stay with her in the summer holidays. She was a really vibrant character. That's putting it over. That's putting it politely. Some people thought she was quite brassy, but she was. Yeah, but she was quite East End girl. Reading the tea leaves, run a pub around Surrey Docks. Proper Londoner. And she moved out to Kent. I'd go and stay with her. And when you think back, there was little things she'd do, like she'd cure warts and things. It was all knowledge that had been handed down. And I used to watch her and think, oh, I wish I could do that. And I used to try. I used to try and know things, and it never happened. Just never, never, never happened. And not even by fluke. But in my teens, I went in search of intuition because I knew it worked. Because I grew up watching, I knew it worked. Just watching I was nosy. I'm still nosy. It's best job in the world when you read tarot cards, and if you're nosy, you know what's going on with everybody. You can't say anything, but oh God, you know it all. So I'd listen as a kid. So I went in search as a teenager, and back then the obvious thing did what was obvious. I went off to India in search of enlightenment, and nothing much happened. I went to ashrams. I can't meditate because I'm too fidgety. I'm kind of hyperactive. But when I come back, so on the way back, something in me opened up. And I started to really know things, like things that were ridiculous. There was one guy that had been traveling with us, and I'm talking months beforehand. And he had to be back in France for two major things, one to start a job and one to get his big tax rebate. And if he wasn't back within that month, he would lose all of it. So 3-4 months later, I went, Bernard's here. And we were in Iran, funny enough. We were on our way back. I was in Iran. It was in Tehran. And I went, he's here. And the people around me were going, don't be ridiculous. He's gone back to France months ago. As obviously it's all before social media. But I just knew. Next day, we bumped into him. And he said, when I was saying that, he was still traveling in the desert. So I felt his energy. The worst thing is, we're all nice and spiritual. He used to really get on my wick, and I used to get really irritated by him. I used to get really annoyed by him. He's driving me bloody mad, that bloke. So how I knew he was about was I could feel that really bloody annoyed. I was going, that bloody Bernard's around here, I can feel him. So it wasn't wonderful, I can feel his, so that was quite funny. So when I come back, my best friend gave me a pack of tarot cards, and I tried to read them several times before. And I couldn't. I've got the little book, and I'm going, what it means when that one's next to that, and it's up here. And I could never. I come back, I picked them up, and I could read them. I just knew what and that started that path. Every so often you get a breakthrough. I'd struggled to read them, and I'd given up years ago. I started reading them. I knew what they meant. So, see, every so often you get these breakthroughs, and then the next big breakthrough was when I started working with future visions. So that I'd worked with past life regression. That was I trained in hypnotherapy purely so I could work past life regression because there was no training. Couldn't Google stuff. We didn't have the internet. How would you find? I looked for years to train or even find a regressionist, and I couldn't. So although clinical hypnotherapy, I just thought I ought to have some sort of a certificate, and wrote my own scripts, and that went so well. I mean, it was just, I still to this day love past life regression. I mean, everyone is so different, everyone is so magical, and it really explains so much about you. So I worked with that for a long time, and then you know this. Military guys come to me wanting to know something about the past, and I worked with them. We all jumped forward, and we witnessed the attack on the Twin Towers. This was 3 weeks before it happened, and none of us understood what it was because it was unprecedented. But when it actually happened a few weeks later, the guys called me up and said, turn on your TV, look what's happening. And we felt really bad because we haven't been able to change anything. But that moment, we just thought, I wonder if we can do it again. At first, we for a couple of months, we were kind of just shocked by it all and trying to take it in because we saw it in detail. We all saw different aspects. So I started to take them forward, and they started to predict other things. I mean, they had predicted the invasion of Iraq. And we actually laughed because it sounded so ludicrous at the time. And there was a whole bunch of stuff, a blonde president, a black president, all things people going, none of that's going to happen. And then I started to experiment with people individually. And this is the bit that was the game changer. I'd taken forward, say, 5 years. 5 years is a good time frame. I'd taken forward 5 years, and they'd say see themselves where they're living or who they're married to or they're working in a different job or whatever, start a new business. They were calling me up after 6 months and going, it's all happened. And that did it for me, because I just thought it takes us so long to get to where we want to be. We have to work so hard. We go down so many wrong roads. If there's a way to shortcut that and just go and find that future that really works for us and bring it into our current consciousness and make it happen sooner, that's when I knew it was my life's work. At that moment, I just thought, this is what I'm going to do. And I had some amazing, my life changed dramatically in 3 months, dramatically. I went from Slough to international in 3 months. I mean, the whole thing just shifted, and I just thought I could do this for other people. So that's why I'm excited every day. I'm kind of people. God, you're always buzzing, but when you're working with this and you're seeing so many people, you do this. I mean, you've watched your clients. That level of change is just so exciting to have every day, and to help people move beyond things that are not good for them now. So you said about the change. There's me talking at 100 miles an hour. Did you want to get a word in edgeways, Ray?
Nope, you're absolutely fine, because I love it, because I know that when you start talking, that's it. It's like we get so much information from you that it's just like so amazing. But I will say, hello, ladies, how you doing? Dave just joined. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us. So no, carry on, because a lot of the stuff that you've been talking about recently is really important to what is going on now with things shifting and changing. I was talking to you a little while ago about my timelines keep shifting. I can't have tarot readings anymore because the
Mm.
timelines are just shifting literally before it's even come to fruition.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny because I don't often tell people my personal stuff. I don't tell people my personal stuff. But I actually put in my newsletter, and it was Christmas before, well, New Year's Eve before last. I ended up in hospital New Year's Eve, and I wasn't happy because I suppose in my mind I see New Year's Eve as being a bit symbolic, of how the year's going to go. So I'm sitting over drip. I had 16 drips over 24 hours. So it was just like, oh God, I wasn't amused. And yeah, I wasn't amused at all. But my spiritual teacher used to say to me, and sometimes the universe has to force you to sit down and shut up for 5 minutes. Sit down and shut up. And it happens to us, doesn't it? We twist our ankle and we go, oh, I've got to sit in there. I can't go anywhere. We get flu, or the car blows up or something. Or the mechanic can't get the part. You're not going anywhere. And it's often force it. And so New Year's Day, I was in for 2 days, but on that, so it was the day before New Year's Eve, and I was really not happy. New Year's Eve stuck in there. No, I wasn't going to be doing anything. We were only going to watch telly, but watch the bells on telly. But there you go. But New Year's Day, they let me out, and it's like you come out the hospital and it's hot in hospitals. You come out, you're in that cold air, and I stood outside Wexham Park Hospital, Slough, waiting for my Uber, and I thought, the world's different. That's why I was forced to stop. And the world was different. And I really mean this, it was different. And as I'm standing there, I'm thinking, the old energy, how we've been for thousands of years, it's heavy and it's backbreaking work, and it's aggressive because it's quite tribal and it's quite dark. That's behind us, and we're just easing into this lighter energy. And I and it's empty. It's an empty space. We're terrified of an empty space. We're terrified. We fill up every minute. We're constantly reading and doing things and have noise. We're terrified. That's why so many people melted down during COVID, because they were forced to stop. I mean, I found the amount of people that were suddenly melting down, go, why haven't this happened in my life? And why have I only got that? They never stop. They're too busy to stop and think about it. They're totally freaked. So coming into this new space, it's quite interesting. I'm kind of being a bit experimental with it. And I'm noticing a lot of people, if I say that, lighter energy, it's amazing. It feels so good. But it's the empty space as well. You don't take everybody with you. You move on from people. people that you've always kind of gone, oh, they're okay, suddenly drive you nuts, or you suddenly see what they're really like, or it's just, yeah. So all that stuff we fill our time for, we go, why am I reading that? Why do I keep watching that? Why am I bothering with that? When there's, you just kind of space, it's quite beautiful. And it's actually, I found it quite hard to formulate words for. And it's this year we've fully come into it, and we're in that lighter energy. But over the last 2 years, as I've eased into it, one thing I knew was, I know I'm stepping back from a lot of the old stuff and the old ways and people I've had around me a long time. I still love all my friends and see them, but I knew I was kind of coming into a different space. I just thought amazing people are going to show up. And this is going to happen to other people. Once you step out that old energy, and I'm not going to name names, but iconic people have come into my life. Iconic people. Also, just people you wouldn't know, but they're the most incredible souls, just the most incredible. And I've just come back from Cornwall, where I spent the weekend with my kinesiologist. I didn't see her for 20 years. She seemed to vanish. She disappeared somewhere. Then she moved right down bottom end of the country. Couldn't get hold of her. I used to go in search of her because she can read everything about me. She can tell me exactly what's happening in my body. I've never met all the healers and people I know. I've never met anybody like her. She can just kind of read me and tell me exactly what I need, dosage, this, that, amazing, amazing. She's rebuilt me a number of times, but I didn't see her for all those years. And then she popped up just before we knew about COVID. She knew about it. And that was a whole new experience. Then she vanished again and disappeared down the country. But anyway, I went down to see her, and it's like she's one of these people that is so exceptional. So I'm having exceptional people appear in my life at the moment, but I had to have that space first, if that makes sense. It's just, you've got to have that empty space and go, that don't feel right. So, and it's happened for I've been easing into it, I think, for a while, because there's a number of people that I just thought, I can't be around them anymore. I love them, but I can't be around them. And a friend of mine, one of my LA friends, he just said about a mutual friend. He said, I can't be around toxic people anymore. And I went, that's exactly what it is. They're toxic. They don't mean to be, but they are bloody toxic. So we all came into this space when we stopped drinking, we started living healthier, creating space, and it's just a different energy. So I've got a workshop at the weekend, and I'm not expecting big numbers, because it is about that lighter energy, and it's about embracing it, but it's also about being all you can be. And I really know most people, I can watch them go, oh, I don't know if I'm ready to leave that old energy yet, which I totally get. And I was saying to you earlier, it's a bit like people with a drug problem. It fills your time. It's actually quite exciting. I come from that mad background. I come from a background a bit like Shameless or something. When you watch Shameless, it's a bit like my background. And it is actually this constant mayhem, but it's quite exciting as well. It's like when drug addicts stop drugs, it's empty. I remember one girl, and she'd had a beautiful girl, and she had a really good job, but she also had a drink and a drug problem. And she said, without it, I'm so bored. And the way she emphasized it, she went, I'm so bored. And she's smart, she's clever, she could fill her time. But every time you go, well, perhaps you could do that, I'm just so bored without it, because it's the excitement. So the old energy is that quite warmongering or conflict. And it's like everyone's so enjoying conflict and row. And I said this, and I'm going to get that bit of evidence and prove I'm wrong. And I'm going to, everyone's so het up with it all. And it's a bit of a buzz. I mean, one girl that I know near to me, she believes any old shit. I do think weird things are happening in the world, without a doubt. And I do think the control's coming in more and more. I mean, I'm really watching a lot. But I could make up any old shit and she'll believe it. Some people do. She just believes anything. So she posted up a load of stuff that was so obviously not true. And I said to her, look, you should you haven't checked that, have you? And she went, oh no, I find it all really exciting. And
Mm.
I go, that's it. You're getting excited by all the craziness rather than going, hang on, this ain't right. What do we do about it? We need to kind of create some bigger, cleaner world. But that's all quite toxic, I think, when you're getting a buzz off of it, especially when other people are getting hurt or something. It's not comfortable. So yeah, so I feel we are in that lighter energy there. All you've got to do is step into it. That's all you've got to do. But I can see people go. So I've got a group on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to it because I think what's nice about it is the right people are going to be there. I remember years ago there was a big event. It was Richard Bandler and Paul McKenna. Now, usually the NLP show up and they're all very like minded, brilliant bunch of people. You know, you can talk to any one of them and they're all going to be just great. But what they did was they put on this weekend, it was super cheap and very general. I forget what it was, but it was some very general. And it was mayhem. It was absolutely mayhem. And I knew the assistants, and Steve Crabb, the great Steve Crabb, was like running it all. And he had to rescue him off the stage because the crowd, and it was a big crowd, would go, bombarding them. They couldn't get off stage. The whole thing was mayhem. And it is that come out the crazy energy into the quieter energy. It's just, I'll never forget that weekend. It really was like, oh my God, this room is full of the most manic, crazy people. And they're there for God knows what. And yeah, it was just one of them mad things. So yeah, so I think we're stepping into that lighter energy. You've been aware of this, haven't you?
I have, yes. It's been really interesting noticing it around me. Sort of like I've been taking a bird's eye view of it and not getting caught up in all the craziness that's going on. And I do fact check. Yes, there is a lot of stuff going on that we don't know about. A lot of conspiracy theories have been proven to be correct,
Yeah.
but you have to do your research.
Yes.
Um, Beforehand, but it is stepping out of that old energy because it's not helping us move forward. It's just keeping us stuck. So we're not seeing the bigger picture now. And when you're around people that are actually stepping forward and going, actually, I'm going to start now releasing all that old stuff and allow myself to move forward. And
Mm.
you can just feel the energy, just so much change. It's just really amazing, seeing it happen, being
Yeah.
around people, but also being part of that and giving the people that information and allowing them to experience it. Because
Mm.
I think when they experience it, then they realize that it's real. Because I think with everything that's going on, where people are so caught up in the excitement of the drama and filling all their space, they see it as something that's possibly there, but until they actually experience it,
Mm.
and when they experience it they go, oh wow, I wish I'd done this ages ago.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right. And the other thing is, en masse, we do need to get together because I know so many people that believe we create our own reality, and they're so negative. They're negative, and there is more. World is more controlled, without a doubt, and we are losing the one thing that gives us something, our currency. We're losing our money. It's all going to be digital. And I talked about this 25 years ago, and we didn't understand it then. We go, well, how can we not have any money? A lot of it didn't make sense. But I could see people being very isolated, living alone, not going out so much, working from home. So it really is that. A friend of mine described it as living in a filing cabinet. Just everyone's in their own little drawer. And I thought, yeah, that is the future, and I don't like it. I really don't like it. But I think some or other en masse, and we're seeing this in Iran at the moment, that the en masse we become powerful, but we have to do it in the light. It's no good being angry and aggressive and I hate them and I hate this. I think the other thing that really I'm very wary about is I can see how people are so influenced by media and that echo chamber. Once you're in an echo chamber, you don't come out of it. So I had to get rid of all the news channels. I did that quite a few years ago.
Yeah, I did.
BBC, Sky, they've all gone. So you can cancel the BBC legally, by the way, guys. It's very easy, very very easy. Do it properly. Don't just cancel it. You fill in one form, Sodom. You don't have to listen to all that. You can let all that go. But en masse, we need to be, as you say, not be angry, upset. Just create better. And en masse, we definitely can create something better. I'm really surprised at how many spiritual people are so negative and so full of hate and just in one camp or the other. And I love Stuart Wilde used to say, have respect for the don't knows, they're nearer the truth. And I used to love that. I used to think, so I kind of try and not be rigid in my thinking. I try not to be rigid. I try to go. I did an interesting thing, Ray. I just did this. I put online on Facebook. Have you ever totally believed something and later realised you were wrong? I just want to see what people say. Loads of people come back. And I thought, but you're still shouting what you think every day, even though you know you could be wrong. I was trying to make a point, but nobody really got it. And I thought, I ain't going to explain it. But yeah, we can be wrong. I actually owe somebody £1 million from a bet where I was wrong.
Let's hope they're not watching the show.
That was luckily that was a drunken night, and it was when I still drank, and you won't remember. I
Phew,
bet £1 million.
oh, that's a good thing. And we've got Cynthia here. Hello from Arizona. Always great to see and hear you both. Cynthia,
Really good to see you, Cynthia. Good to see Catties. This is it. The tribe showing up.
exactly. And Cynthia's also been a guest on my show, so check that one out as well. I'll be putting links to those in there. So things are changing, and we do have to be adaptable. And
Yes.
something that I remember you saying years ago, and it's something that stuck with me and something I try and do, is that when opportunities come up, you take them, even if it's something that is going to be a little bit difficult. You have to adapt to it and
Mm.
take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Richard Branson said, if an offer comes your way, say yes, then figure out how to do it. And I thought that's actually good advice. But look, the world's going to keep changing. What you do, and that last book, Future Vision, it starts with whatever you do, it will change. I don't care whether you're CEO of an IT company, a hairdresser, restaurant owner, therapist, it is going to change. The change we've had in the last 20 years, we've got more coming in the next three. And I talked to a lot of experts, a lot of futurists, a lot of AI experts, that we all know it's going to dramatically change over the next few years. The thing is to be future thinking, and most people aren't. If you're just focused on the future, you can anticipate where to be. You've got to think from the future backwards. You can't think from where you are. And that's where most people are going to struggle because they're looking at where they are, hanging on for dear life, or hoping something magic. People keep thinking something magic. I've had quite a few people say, oh, yeah, when I get this big break, and I go, supposing you don't, they think somebody's going to knock on their door and go, oh, look, we're offering. No, no, no. You've got to kind of Stuart Wilde again, he's always my favourite teacher. He said, you've got to be in the marketplace, you've got to be out there, you've got to be ready. And even if you're croaking inside, I remember I used to be so terrified of public speaking, I would feel ill and I'd avoid it. That held me back for 20 years. So don't let any of it hold you back from fear or any of it or thinking you can't do it. Just go and do it. And if you screw up, look at people that are big. If they screw up, they go, oh well, they shrug. The shrug is so underrated. Just go, if things go wrong, go, oh well. That's so underrated. But yeah, one of the things I'd like to do if we have time is just to do a little exercise because I think this is something I've been working on. I've been doing myself, and it's definitely putting me in this better space, in this nice space. And I feel like by doing this exercise, I feel like all the anger and worrying about what's happening in the world, there's actually less war than there has been previously in the world for centuries. There's actually less war. It's just that we know more about bad things. We
And
know
it
more.
gets hyped up.
Yeah, the world is actually quite a bit more civilized than what it used to be. Hard to believe, but it actually is. So I want to do this little exercise because when I do it, I just feel all that's away from me. It's just I'm in a clear space. When you're, if any of you are therapists, if you're wound up all day, then you go to work with somebody. You just need to be in a good space. There's some people you can see they are, and you're drawn to them, aren't you? You're just drawn to these people that have this really cool, comfortable energy, and that's where we need to be. So I just want to do this little exercise, if it's okay.
Yes.
Good. So just make yourself comfy, and if it's safe to do so, close your eyes. Obviously not if you're driving or hang gliding or whatever, cooking.
Smoking.
Yeah. Just close your eyes and just focus on your breathing. As you focus on your breathing, you will naturally start to relax. And just think of a time you felt really relaxed. Remember where you were. Remember what you were doing. Remember how you felt. And feel twice as relaxed as you did then. And twice as relaxed again. And feel 10 times as relaxed as you did then. And allow that relaxation to flow right through you to every cell of your body, just letting go. And I just want you to imagine you're standing on a line, sort of line you'd get on a football pitch or stop your parking, just a nice thick, solid line. Just stand on that line. And as you stand on that line, be aware the past is behind you, the other side of the line. And the future's in front of you on that side of the line. And just stand there and be aware and just let it come to you. What is it that needs to be left in last year or in the past? Just focus. What is it I just need to leave behind? There are very certain things that we actually almost feel lighter and relieved without. Just leave all that behind. And just look on the future side of the line and just step fully over the line so you're standing in the future part. And just notice how it's lighter and brighter and freer. Notice how it feels to be standing in the future part without that old energy that you've left behind. And that's good. And in the future part, just be aware of what's the one thing you need to know. What is the one thing you need to embrace? 2026 feels like a special year for me. I just keep getting this really good feeling, and I just feel the people that step into that light energy this year, it just feels light and bright, and they will connect with each other. It's almost like a mesh where when you step away from that old energy and step into the new, the others that have done the same, they kind of connect. They find you, you find each other. So I want you to really feel what it feels like to be in that light, bright, soft energy with less in it. Less in it. It's more minimal and it's free. It's very freeing. And just be aware of one word, the word that is for you for 2026. And when you're ready, take a deep breath and open your eyes. One of the things I've really felt, because we're all using AI, I use AI, I use it every day
Mm.
for something, it's brilliant. And I started to notice how everything's the same on the internet. It's almost like everything looks the same, and it's lost its essence. And I thought of the best business bio I've ever read, Shoe Dog. If any of you like business bios, I love Shoe Dog. It's just such, and I just thought if it had used AI to write that, wouldn't it be a great book? And I think if I'd used AI to use my past books, that I wouldn't have done so well. And you think of the books that have made a difference in your life, if they'd used AI to help, even just to help, they wouldn't have been as good. Something would have been missing. And I'm seeing AI just become lots of very similar stuff. It's almost like clonish sort of writing and pictures and things. And I do use it. I use it for images and, might find a title for me. But I'm finding the other thing I stepped into as I come into that space, when we got space, our ideas start flowing. So I started to download more creativity and ideas. So, Ray, what word came to you?
Trust.
Hmm, interesting.
Yeah, it was it's leaving doubt, walking into trust, and
Good.
it just felt so light and sort of like floating. It was really beautiful. It was really beautiful feeling, and and anyone who's watching, whether you're watching this live or the replay, and you've done this, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
builds up a beautiful picture of what's happening and gets us all connected.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really interesting. You know who to mix with. You really get that feeling of who to mix with and who to be around. And but it's also said one of the things I felt was I had to say no more often. I was
Mm.
absolutely the old energy was. I got into December and I thought I've got to say no a lot more. I was just there was so many demands being made on me. My phone's going at 5:30 in the morning. I ain't a morning person. 2 cups of tea and a double espresso and a couple of eggs before I do anything. I have my protein and my caffeine. Yeah, and it just got overwhelming, and I felt that old energy is people being really demanding. And it's funny because I spent some time with somebody who's very much in the light energy, and her phone was going every 5 minutes with a woman that was just so needy and so demanding. And I'm just really, really, really finding that the old energy is kind of a bit desperate. There's a bit of a desperateness to it. Oh, we got some comments. What we got?
We have. So Catty says, for me, the past felt very supportive behind me, and the future was saying, "You already here, you are ready."
Great. Good. Good, good, good.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Catty.
That's
Um,
really nice. Yeah, I can see, but you are quite a light energy, aren't you, Catty? She's always sort of serene, aren't you? She's always serene and
she is.
flowing. You don't strike me as somebody to get caught up in the negative energy. So,
No, definitely not. So being adaptable is something that we've all really got to actually take into account now and actually start doing,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
rather than staying, stuck rigid in what we have been doing. Um,
Not taking the bait. I've got a friend, and she's a political activist. She's an incredible person. Some people would be like, not everybody agrees with her, but that's it when you're a political activist. But what I've noticed is when people start to get het up and try and bait her, she just goes, yeah, doesn't enjoy. And we will have people sort of with these heavy conversations, and I thought that's really good. I really like that, and it's Charlie Kirk. I love Charlie Kirk. So that this couple of practitioners went nuts at me because they really got the ump. But what I learned from Charlie Kirk was to talk, debate. We don't debate anymore. It's just people shouting and insulting each other. And I thought, whether you like what he believed or what he did get young people who are so used to just shouting and getting aggressive and just got people talking. And I thought, you watch old chat shows, people would debate. They wouldn't agree with each other, but they would debate. And we don't do that. We don't discuss things anymore. And we insult each other. And you're stupid if you believe that. And it's because of the echo chamber. And I love I love watching I'd stay calm and debate. Just talk to people. Just go, and he'd be respectful, even when they were insulting
Mm,
you. And I thought, I learned from that. I try and watch just a few minutes every day to learn. Doesn't matter whether I believe what he believes or anything else, or people think he's part of some bad thing. I'm not interested in any of that. I want to. I like that we can have conversations and maybe even change our mind now and again. Who changes their mind? I love that. So yeah, being adaptable, as part of being adaptable is to listen, isn't it? It's just to listen to people, and not get het up and do what my friend does and go, now and again, and not get caught up in crazy stuff. I think the lighter energy is respectful. I think we need to be respectful of each other, and but for our own personal journey, it is from the future back. It's got to be from the future backwards. We got to be looking at where things are heading and creating even better. That's what we can do en masse. We can create wonderful, wonderful things. I'm going to start a podcast soon, and that's one of the reasons is, and it's something where we can aim at a bigger picture, look at a bigger picture, and create something better. I just really felt I want to bring people who have that mindset onto there, just as we can think, this is what's happening. What can we do? How can we maximize on the good stuff? How can we work together? And have some insight from experts into what's coming. That's what I want to put together. But yeah, no, I'm glad. I'm glad you had that trust, because if you step into that lighter energy, and I do believe Catty has already stepped in.
mm.
She's wondering why we've all taken so bloody long.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, mate. Some people do. They naturally float along, don't they? I don't. I come from that mad background, so it's quite a learning curve for me. But yeah, no, it's a beautiful energy, and I can see I can see your show really opening up bigger. I feel like there's something you're gonna do to just open it up bigger. I don't know how, but I just think you're gonna open it up bigger.
Yeah, but I can actually feel that,
Mm,
I've started changing the concept of it, the thumbnails, etc., because and taking it more down an esoteric route,
mm,
because that is where, we need this. I mean, if you look at things like YouTube, you do get a lot of the podcasts. They are debating and they're having all these, but they're not even debating, they're having these arguments.
yeah.
People just want, let me listen to that. Oh, that's some advice. I can go and take that advice. I can do that if I want to. It's
Mm,
giving people the choice
yeah.
to actually, do you want to be adaptable? Do you want to change your course? Well, you listen to this show. That gives you an idea of how to do it. So you can go and do it, or you can completely ignore it and go and do your own thing.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think I don't know, I can just see it just suddenly really opening up. But I was talking to somebody earlier who's an expert on these types of shows, and they said 100 episodes is when it explodes. I thought, well, that's 2 years if you're doing one a week, or a year if you do two a
I'm
week.
I'm 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 on my 400. I think you're my 422nd show.
Wow.
I
Wow,
know.
that's amazing. Wow, well done. And what he said was most people don't get past 20.
Mm.
He said he actually said most people don't get past 20, which is incredible. They do 20 shows and give up because we expect everything to happen quickly. And he said just by keeping going, he said there's only 400,000 podcasts in the world. And now, when you think of all the different countries and different languages, and most of them are small, that
Yeah.
that shows is huge market there for anybody thinking, because that's incredible. There's only 400,000. Think of how many websites there are, how many people that have got email accounts, how many people on YouTube. 400,000 podcasts. That's quite shocking.
That is really shocking. So people out there, if you've got an idea, create a podcast.
Yeah, yeah. And come
You
on,
know,
come on, Race. Yeah, come on,
yeah,
Race.
come on mine, on Anne's when she gets it, when she actually gets it set up, and that's the beauty. There can't be too many of things, because you need more things so that more people can actually get that information.
Yeah,
Because there'll be people that watch me that will never ever watch, I don't know, somebody else. But then there are people that watch somebody else who might never watch me because they don't but we've got the same message. That's
yeah. It's
absolutely
finding that
fine.
people. I mean, if Stuart Wilde was alive, I'd listen to every single word he said. If he had if he was alive today and had a podcast, I would listen to every single word, because I just adored everything he said, even when he was being a nightmare. Because he was naughty at times and a bit of a nightmare. I know people at work with him, but and yeah, I tried to talk to him once. He wouldn't talk to me, but I would still listen